You white liberals have a lot of nerve.
That's identity politics.
You white liberals hate when black men vote Republican. You hate when black men say that they like being American citizens. You hate when black men say that we want to have a border. You hate when black men say stop sending our money to the Ukraine. And you go to the WWE politics to try and defend your latent racism. That's what it is.
Hold on a second, Royce. Aren't you against identity politics?
Absolutely.
So what are you talking about white liberals for, especially when
what do you mean?
I'm a Hispanic Jewish immigrant from Argentina?
Yeah, right, but you have a white liberal ideology.
I really appreciate you being on today.
Your latent racism is obvious. Make sure you post the interview. Don't be a coward.
David Pakman brought on this guy, Royce White, onto his show, and that was the biggest mistake that he could have made because David Pakman on his own show got absolutely demolished and embarrassed by Royce White. Let's get into this clip here where David Pakman absolutely got destroyed by this guy and absolutely embarrassed. And you could see the look on Pakman's face that he knew he was getting destroyed. He knew he was getting embarrassed. Let's check it out.
Societal-wide basis.
Okay. I don't want to use all our time on this, but it sounds like we're not going to get any more examples, and the audience can kind of judge that for themselves.
Yeah, you can pick anybody you want. The whole Me Too movement was based on the claim that we should believe all women. Do you think we should believe all women?
Well, that we've already talked about. It's a completely different question, and it has to do with what is the responsibility of police
Wait a second.
It has nothing whatever.
Wait a second. It's not a different question. It's not a different question at all. It certainly does, because there are fundamental rights of being an American citizen, one of which has always been the presumption of innocence. Number one. So there is complete merit to bring it into question when we talk about American citizenship.
Royce, you understand that when police investigate crimes, they investigate crimes, but that doesn't take away the presumption of innocence in a court of law. Like, this is basic legal stuff, Royce.
No. It takes away the presumption of innocence in the court of public opinion.
But this is crazy.
It takes away the presumption of innocence in the court of public opinion, which now in today's world can be just as dangerous as the opinion in the court of law. And even for, again,
100%, 1,000%. It can be more dangerous, because you think about what happened to Johnny Depp. I mean, Johnny Depp is like one of the biggest examples and most mainstream examples. This stuff happens so often for anyone who has any sort of platform, whether it's clout, followers, money, whatever you have. This happens to people all of the time. And the worst part is it happens to everyday random people that don't have the money or the resources to be able to combat it in the courtroom or in the court of public opinion. It happens all the time. And, you know, if you're Johnny Depp, you have millions of dollars already, and as long as he didn't blow the money, then he would have been okay. But for these random people who are losing their 9-to-5 jobs, they're not okay whenever they're falsely accused of things. These normal people who get thrown in jail and don't have the money to get the best lawyers in the game and don't have the followers to cause an outrage on social media for them being falsely accused, they just get screwed over. So 100%, what David Pakman is saying is completely wrong, and what Royce White is saying is completely correct. The court of public opinion is almost as dangerous, if not as dangerous, as the actual court of law now.
Claims are 0.02% of all sexual assault claims.
According to you. According to
crime reporting from police departments all over the country.
According to you
and the police departments.
According to you. Then why don't they bring more claims?
Who?
Why don't more make it to the courtroom?
What claims?
Because they lack evidence. The reason why police departments say, first of all, again, you're trying to sidetrack me and you keep interrupting me. You brought me on your show.
You created this sidetrack.
You brought me on your show. You brought me on your show.
And we're not
asked me about a question about women. I'm answering a question about feminists and the feminist movement.
Hold on, Royce. You
the point is when you assume that all women are telling the truth, or that we should believe all women on face value, by default,
I don't know anyone who has said that.
The whole movement of the whole Me Too movement was based on this idea that believe all women.
That's your assertion. I don't believe that to be true.
Oh, okay. Well, you let your viewers decide then. Let's go to the next question.
Trust but verify is the view that I've always had.
Believe all women was the commercial, widespread commercial. Believe all women was the widespread commercial and cultural sentiment from the Me Too movement, 150,000%.
You know, Royce, you sidetracked us on believe all women, right? You brought it up out of nowhere.
The believe all women idea is a part of the claim that women have become mouthy.
Okay. Let me ask about a couple of other things.
And I will say, in that vein.
Yeah.
when women are allowed to say things about men with no boundaries or no constraints whatsoever, and it's culturally accepted across American culture and across political culture, that is, in my opinion, more than a valid reason to be able to say, hey, women are getting out of control. And I do think radical feminists are getting out of control. I should have been more specific, but
I get the
thought I was
point
being
that
humorous.
you think women are out of control. I got it.
No. I said radical feminists are out of control. Be clear. And they are. That's why they're bringing...
If you enjoy content like this, then make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It really does help me out a ton. Let's get back to the video.
...and their children to drag stripper shows.
Let me ask about a couple of things.
Do you think that's okay? Do you think it's okay to sexualize children at drag stripper shows?
I don't think the children are being sexualized if they go to a drag show. No, I just don't think that that's the sexualization.
You don't think that you don't think children are being? Would it be okay for me as a grown adult male to take underage kids to a regular strip club?
I don't think they're allowed. No.
So why are they allowed to do it in
Royce,
but why aren't they allowed?
Royce.
Why aren't they allowed? Is it because of the alcohol or because of the sexualization?
I don't know the laws around strip clubs. I couldn't tell you. But Royce, if
maybe you should learn them though, because you're talking about drag shows. You have an opinion about the drag shows, and you say that's completely fine.
Royce, you brought them up.
But you have an opinion about.
I'm going to have to mute you, Royce. I'm going to have to mute you.
Okay.
You're bringing up topics and then telling me I brought them up. This isn't a way to be interviewed as a serious
I didn't say that. I didn't say you brought it up. I said you had an opinion about it.
You told me I brought up Believe All Women and that I brought up drag shows.
No, I didn't.
Brought those issues
no,
up.
I did not say that. They'll be able to watch it back and see for themselves how it went. I didn't say you brought it up. I brought it up. I'm going to bring up every topic I want to bring up.
Oh, so
you white liberals are not going to tell you. Yeah, I brought up the feminist movement and I brought up the drag stripper shows as an example.
Can we continue the interview?
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
You brought up strip clubs. It was recently revealed you spent campaign donations at a strip club. Is that true?
That's not true.
Okay. It's been sourced very well by the Daily Beast. Where'd they get this information?
The Daily Beast, first of all, the Daily Beast is not a good source. That's number one. But number two, it wasn't well sourced even in that article at all. It was a reference to a campaign filing with the FEC that was not done properly.
Who didn't do the filing properly?
Whoever was in charge of the filing.
And who was that?
Well, there were a number of people, I would assume, who were in charge of getting that accounting done, but it wasn't.
You don't know who the people are doing your accounting?
Oh, yeah, I know exactly. Yeah, I know who they are. Do you want me to list the entire list of people who worked on it?
Yeah.
So you have time for me to go through a list of people who worked on the filing, but you don't have time to talk about the details of the political issues you want to discuss?
Well, how many people is it?
Give me a break. Who do you think you...
It is kind of insane that, you know, Royce White's sitting there trying to discuss, you know, the drag stripper shows or whatever he said, and, you know, the other political issues that David Pakman was talking about back and forth, but didn't want to stay on the topics too long whenever he realized that Royce White was going to just absolutely destroy him on those topics, because there's no defending a lot of the things that David Pakman and his side like to defend with the drag stripper shows and things like that. You know, if Royce White's bringing up to Pakman, why are children not allowed in normal strip clubs? And he's not going to answer. I mean, it's pretty obvious the reason why they wouldn't be allowed in normal strip clubs. And it's also pretty obvious why they are allowed at the drag shows that are strip clubs, basically. I mean, it's the same thing. It's that people are in drag. The only difference and the reason why they're allowed there is because if they stopped allowing them, they would be called bigots and homophobic or whatever istophobe they would come up with to call them. They would be labeled that thing, and that's a death sentence for a lot of people. So it's funny how David Pakman doesn't want to answer that. He doesn't want to talk about the actual important topics, because it is an important topic, and he wants to branch off into asking about Royce White spending campaign funds at a strip club. That's more important. That's a more important conversation than actual political issues. Wild.
Who do you people think you're fooling?
I don't think we're fooling anybody.
Who do you people think you're fooling?
So the people who prepared the reports...
I answered the question. The question is no.
It, Royce. The people who prepared the reports...
The answer is no. The answer to your question is no.
I haven't even asked the question yet.
You did. You asked, did I spend campaign finance money on strippers?
And you responded, and now I want to ask a follow-up.
Okay.
Your claim is there were filings which said you spent campaign funds at a strip club, but they were incorrect filings.
No, they didn't say that I spent the funds at a strip club. Or no, let's say they didn't say that I spent the funds on strippers.
But it was spent at a strip club.
Well, strip club they sell food at the strip club, don't they?
So you spent the money on food at a strip club. Is that more accurate?
You seem to be very unfamiliar with strippers and strip clubs and drag strip shows. So I'll inform you, maybe you aren't informed, that they do have food at strip clubs.
So what you're saying is the money was spent at a strip club.
Did you know that though? Did you know that?
I know strip clubs have restaurants.
Have you ever been to a strip club?
One time.
Did you like the food?
No.
You got to go to better strip clubs then.
Okay. But so what you're saying is you did spend the money at strip clubs, but on food. Is that right?
Well, I'm not saying that I spent the money. I'm saying that there was a filing on my FEC report that shouldn't have been there and potentially should have been reimbursed by somebody who may have been at the strip club, but that there is food at the strip club. So to say it was spent on strippers is not based on factual evidence.
I didn't say that.
Especially not from the day you did.
I said it's strip club, not strippers.
No, well, okay. Well, that's what's implied by the Daily Beast.
It's the same thing you're saying, right? So we agree.
But that's what's been implied by the Daily Beast and other people as well.
Money was spent at a strip club by someone else in your campaign on
that's
food.
That's what's been implied by the Daily Beast and other mainstream media outlets as well.
And what's the truth?
I just told you.
Someone else bought food at a strip club with campaign funds.
No, I told you about the FEC filing. You seem to have a lot of time for this one.
Well, it's because you're so obviously lying.
Okay. I'm so obviously lying.
Yeah, just tell me the truth. So, did a staffer spend money on food at a strip club?
You white liberals have a lot of nerve.
That's identity politics.
You white liberals hate when black men vote Republican. You hate when black men say that they like being American citizens. You hate when black men say that we want to have a border. You hate when black men say stop sending our money to the Ukraine. And you go to the WWE politics to try and defend your latent racism. That's what it is.
Hold on a second, Royce. Aren't you against identity politics?
Absolutely.
So what are you talking about white liberals for, especially when
what do you
I'm
mean?
a Hispanic Jewish immigrant from Argentina?
Yeah, right, but you have a white liberal ideology. That's what's funny about it.
Oh, that's something different. All right, Royce, listen, when you start hurling stuff around like that, we do have to end the interview.
You have a post-World War II democratic liberal order, white liberal ideology.
All right. The man who denounces identity politics is playing identity.
The thing is, it's not, I mean, I guess it technically is identity politics, but it's also true at the same time. Like, these people like David Pakman, he said he's a Hispanic. He doesn't look Hispanic at all, but let's just say that he is. Regardless, he is trying to play like the white savior role. Like Royce White is saying, he does have the white liberal ideology. He's trying to play the white savior role, no doubt about it. And it's just so cringe. And whenever they're playing that role, whenever they're trying to do that, and then there's black people who just completely disagree and vote the other way and campaign the other way from them, they do hate it 100%, because they're like, we're working so hard to save you. Why are you doing this? Why are you going the other way? They 100% hate it. I guess you could say that Royce White is playing the identity politics game a little bit, but I mean, it's all like, also the entire ideology surrounding David Pakman's life and the show that he does and everything is identity politics. The entire thing around the white savior, the white liberal racist thing that Royce White is describing about Pakman is also identity politics. It's kind of hard to call out identity politics without playing the identity politics game, if that makes sense. Like, how are you supposed to call out the fact that there are these white liberals that love to play the savior game without playing the identity politics game at the same time? Like, it's impossible. So are we just not allowed to call certain things out that you're doing because it's identity politics? It's just so dumb, man. It's so disingenuous by David Pakman. You could tell that Royce White was under the impression that this was going to be like a normal interview where they discussed political topics, and he just kept bringing it back to personal attacks on Royce White and like campaign funds and how he was spending campaign funds. Do you really think that Royce White is going to sit here and discuss something like that on David Pakman's show? Like, what would he gain out of that? He's not going to gain anything. So obviously he's not going to give you a straight up answer on exactly who did the filing, who did the spending of the money. That'd be so stupid of him. Obviously he's not going to do that. Let's see what else plays out here. Sounds like David Pakman's about to rage quit once again.
No, I'm not. Royce, I really appreciate you being on today.
Your latent racism is obvious. Make sure you post the interview. Don't be a coward. And feel free to have me back on anytime so we can talk in detail where you don't cut me off. I like this kind of stuff. You people don't.
I can assure you.
You people hope that every black Republican or Black America First that shows up is going to kowtow and sort of, curl up and run into the corner when you cut people off. That doesn't bother me.
Royce, I can assure you,
women have.
Royce, you're on a new topic now.
Feminists,
I can assure you, we will
radical
post the
feminists
interview,
in this country have certainly gotten way beyond the pale in terms of their ideology.
Royce,
100,000%.
You have my word.
You think it's okay to take little kids to drag stripper shows, but you don't think it's okay for grown men to get the chicken wings from strip clubs.
Royce,
you don't think that that's weird?
It sounds like a campaign finance violation. It's not my opinion, but Royce, we got to end the interview.
Oh, you can get food for donors. You can get food for donors from anywhere in the country you want.
We got to end the interview.
The thing is, though, he doesn't care about the actual truth. He doesn't care about the rules. He doesn't care about the law. He doesn't care about any of that stuff. He just cares about not discussing actual important topics that make him look bad, and he cares about owning, Royce White here. He cares about owning the right wing. That's all he really cares about. So you can sit there and explain to him that it's okay to buy food from strip clubs for donors all you want. It doesn't matter to him. It doesn't even cross his mind, is this okay or not? He heard one time that this is bad and that he should bring it up in an interview if things start to go downhill with Royce White. So whenever things started to go downhill and Royce started to bring up issues that Pakman didn't like, he went directly to that honey hole that he knew he could go to before the interview started. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about David Pakman bringing on Royce White, getting destroyed on multiple different topics as they just kind of ran through the topics, and then David Pakman just rage quit the interview. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about this whole David Pakman versus Royce White situation.